everyone to our second Tuesday Lunch and Learn. And we are honored to have Detective Ruth Martin here today.
I'm Detective Ruth Martin. You can call me Ruth if you want to. I worked with the Rogers Police Department Cyber Crimes Unit. This is Detective Oscar Rueda. He works with me. And today we wanted to cover a little bit about online safety and scams, primarily scams, just because with technology growth, the scams, I mean, there's so many. This touches on a portion of the scams, but not all of the scams. Hopefully today we can give a little bit of insight about what we're seeing locally, but also some tips and tricks on how to prevent becoming a victim of a scam. Now, statistically, somebody in this room will probably be a victim or has been a victim of a scam, but if you become a victim, don't be embarrassed. It does happen to the best of us, so just hang tight with me. If you have any questions, just let me know, and we'll get through this. Some of the issues we're going to address are, like I said, the scams that we see locally, and then phishing. Phishing are those like malware, spyware links, or phishing links that they send you to click on, and they can either install spyware malware on your device or to gather your personal information. And a few tips on how to keep safe. So first, we have to understand what scams are. Scams are essentially fraudulent schemes designed to defraud a person or steal their identity or personal property, whether that be financial or physical. And some common signs of a scam, being able to notice a scam when it's happening is one of the first deterrences. If you're getting calls, emails, text messages about random or being contacted randomly about something that you have never heard of, like legal issues, tax issues, like you've never heard or been in any legal trouble, or it's been a while, and then you're randomly being contacted about it, that's a sure way to know it's a scam. Demanding payment in odd forms. A very common one is gift cards. You'd be surprised the large percentage of people that pay their legal debts in Apple or iTunes gift cards. That is never going to be a form of payment by any legal entity, money orders, checks, or recently they've been having people meet them in person outside like the courthouse or stations in order to pay in person. Sudden issues with your technology or accounts. If you're contacting somebody or somebody's contacting you and they ask you to contact them on a secondary number that's not related to the business, then that is a sign of a scam. And then saying they'll call you back when you ask for a callback number for them, that's like, hey, I'll call you back in 5 minutes, and they refuse to provide a number. Spelling error, or uncommon ways to write like the monetary values. So if you get text messages or emails and you're noticing that it's not the normal dollar sign, dollar amount, period, cent amount, or they use any of these symbols that are used for foreign currency, that's a surefire way to know that you're probably being scammed. Asking for payment for cryptocurrency, or the offer is too good to be true. These bullet points are just consistently what we see in every single scam. Along with the dollar sign, if they can't structure a sentence properly, it's misworded, misspelling, or it seems like they don't understand like the grammatical English like verbiage that we use. That's a really good indicator. And that picture, that's on Facebook Marketplace, and the good offer too good to be true. And a lot of people are taking advantage of the housing crisis right now. So that advertisement is for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for $350 a month for rent to own, right? You're having a lot of people falsely advertise properties for lower prices than what the normal rental or purchase rate is in order to scam people by paying deposit, application fees, or even trying to sell a house and then when the people go to move in, there's nothing there or somebody's already living there. Common local scams, a major one are the law enforcement report scams. Has anybody ever been affected by this or had family or friends affected by this? So essentially what they're doing is, one, they're spoofing or generating the actual phone number for the police department or courthouse. Benton County, I think, their number has been spoofed in local scams. Rogers Police Department, I think their number has been spoofed in local scams. But they'll call and say, I'm Detective Ruth Martin from the Rogers Police Department. You owe $500 on a search or on a warrant, or you'll be arrested. And it will sound legitimate. The number will look legitimate, but then what they're actually doing is they'll give you a form of payment, whether that be gift cards, like I've expressed. Gift cards will never be a form of payment, a money transfer, or they'll offer you or ask you to meet up with them. Departments, even if you go in, Venmo's never a way to pay court fees or court costs. Gift cards, not a way. Benton County had somebody meet outside of their Benton County courthouses to take care of a warrant. And I will say, if you're contacted by this and they're asking you to meet up with them, immediately contact law enforcement, and we will meet them for you, and that helps us and you. So both teams win, besides their team. So be very cautious. No law enforcement agency or court agency will call you about a debt. If you have court issues that you don't know about, sadly, it will probably get you on a traffic stop. But a good thing to say is okay, I'll call you right back, hang up. You call the legitimate number for that agency and then just say, hey, I got a call saying I have a search or I keep on saying search warrant, an arrest warrant or charges out of your agency, and we can look it up and essentially tell you if you're being scammed or not. Marketplace scams are huge. Facebook Marketplace is a really good place. I find a lot of cool stuff on there, but it is a huge form of scams. Whether it be the rental scams that I've already told you about, due to the housing crisis, people offering housing for lower than the normal average. They're posting items for a lesser amount than they normally are, so people are thinking they're getting a really good deal. And then they usually say, when you do contact them, they say, hey, I'm out of town right now. If you give me a deposit, I'll get it when I get back to town. Or, I'm out of town right now, but my friend can show you the house. They offer to, if they purchase something that you're selling, they'll tell you that they're from another area. They'll offer to send you a check for way more than you're advertising it for. And they'll say, oh, that's for shipping fees, movers to come and get it. Just pay my movers with the extra cash. And essentially that scam is where you cash that check into your bank account, pull that money out, and before the bank realizes that it's a bad check, you've already withdrew that money and gave it to whoever that they want you to give it to. So nobody will ever pay you 3 times as much as you're asking in order to ship something a few states away. They'll ask you to put down a deposit without a meeting. They'll say, hey, put a deposit down, so I'll hold it. I won't sell it to anybody else. There is a common scam going around local community groups right now. It's where they'll have advertised handyman jobs like vent cleaning or power washing or something like that. And they'll say, hey, I have my own business. I fall on hard times. I can do this job for a low price. And essentially you'll pay them for the job, but they'll never complete it. I saw one get called out last week. It was event cleaning. And it was the same exact wording on the post, but they posted in every single community group that there were. And then, like I said, they'll give a story about a financial hardship that contributes to them needing to do a job, because then you feel sorry for them, you want to support them financially as far as supporting small business, but sadly, it ruins it for the honest people that are trying to make a living. This is an example. I pulled this off Facebook this morning. It's a PS5 for $75. The PS5s usually run about $450, $500 right now. So if you're getting it for $75, it's too good to be true that I told you. And they're going to give you some kind of ridiculous story as far as this is PS5 came from my ex-girlfriend. She cheated on me. I want to make her mad. No guy is going to sell PS5 for $75 to make his ex-girlfriend mad. He has to be pretty mad. So you look at the profile and it said he joined Facebook in 2024, which is a red flag. And then you can check out their other postings. Sometimes they'll have like the same posting posted in different cities, and that will show up if you click on their name. There, you just click on this name right here, and it will pull up this page. So if you go to the post and click on that profile, it will show you everything that they've posted, how long the Facebook profile has been created. But this is that's too good to be true. When I was 18 or 19, I was trying to purchase a car, and I got the story of my son was deployed and passed away. It breaks my heart to look at his car. So I'm trying to sell it. I'm out of state, and it ended up being a scam. Luckily, didn't provide any identifying information, but that is a good example. Here are some others I pulled out of Facebook this morning. The poster in the community page for Pea Ridge essentially posted saying like, hey, this is a scam. It points out the items were way underpriced. This car, this lady keeps on asking for a deposit to hold it, so they won't sell it. And I'm not exactly sure the make and model, but 2012 3800 for 2012, that might be a little low, but they're like, hey, put down a deposit, put down a deposit, put down a deposit. And they'll never give the address or location where they're located. Preventing marketplace scams. My number one tip for marketplace scams, they won't meet you in person and you can't view it before you pay for it, don't purchase it. Sometimes if it's like an antique or a limited item, like my mom's into quilting and she bought a huge quilting rack. Luckily she wasn't scammed. But some cases, you'll want something so bad or need something for an antique car, it's just a roulette that you'll have to play, right? But I always say like, hey, if you can't put eyes on it, can't physically touch it, don't pay for it. If they're asking you for a deposit in order to hold it for you, don't put any deposits down. Receiving, like I've already addressed, receiving checks that are more than what you're advertising something for, or they're selling something for. If they're selling something, they're like, hey, I'll send you a check to pay the movers. Don't do that. And especially on rentals or houses or anything like that, don't submit any paperwork or applications with your identifying information on it. If they're a legitimate real estate office or a landlord, they will be local enough that they can have somebody there to meet you. They should be able to pop up on Google or research online. There's no reason that you can fill out an application. Now, if you meet with somebody in person, they show you the house, you look them up, it's a legitimate business, and they say, hey, go to my website to submit an application, that could be another thing. But if they're just on Facebook and they say, hey, fill out this application and send it back to me, put down this deposit, I would be cautious. And do your researching. Google nowadays, you should Google yourself, see how much information pops up about you. That should be a lifetime experience. But like I said, if it's a legitimate business and a legitimate person, they should be able to prove it either online or in person. Just be careful. Like I said, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist is a very scam-ran entity. So always be mindful. Romance scams, I've already talked to a couple people that have had family or friends that have been a victim of the romance scam. And I've noticed these are majorly like middle-aged to older adults. Widows primarily have been the one that I've worked cases on. But essentially, you'll have a profile contact you online, and they'll present to be usually military. They'll say like, hey, I'm stationed in Turkey, Iraq, insert foreign country. They'll say like, hey, I'm in the military. That's the reason for not being locally in the United States. They'll start a romantic relationship online. This is specifically an example from one of the cases I work. I'm in the Army. I have this top secret file that the government won't pay for me to go back because I lost this top secret file, right? And I don't know, I have a veteran. Have you ever been stationed or deployed anywhere where they refuse to get you a plane ticket back to the United States? It's usually not a major thing that the Army, it's bad recruiting tactics to leave soldiers in foreign countries. So they'll say like, hey, the Army won't buy me a plane ticket. Can you send me money for a plane ticket? I don't have a phone. I'm running out of minutes. Can you send me money for minutes? Like they will always come with an excuse that they need money. So they'll ask for gift cards. They'll ask for money orders. It will be
I'm in the hospital.
yeah, they're in the hospital. Their dog's in the hospital. Their frog's in the hospital. Like it is a never-ending scam. There's this lady in Benton County that she got scammed out of $150,000 over the course of a year. And she's like, I'm on disability, like I don't have any more money to send him. So these are actually like $1 billion industries. And personally, like my great grandmother-in-law, she posted something on Facebook, and one of these accounts popped up and said, "Oh, you're beautiful. Send me a message. I would like to talk to you." And so I just commented under, I'm like, "This is a scam. Do not send a message," because it's a guy in military uniform that plays on heartstrings. Online relationships, heed caution. I know some of them do work out, and they're not scams. There's a lot of legitimate dating websites. You never know who you're going to get on the other side. But if you do choose to enter into a online relationship and they start asking for money, they will never stop, and you should not be a part of a relationship that you have to support financially. So just be wary, especially the ones that give those excuses. Or they'll say like they're not in the military, just a foreign country, and they're like, hey, I need money to file my paperwork to come and see you. And it will always be just this cash rolling. Deterrence, be cautious about online relationships. Like I've stated, the government will never release somebody in a foreign country. Like I said, bad recruiting tactics, and a new relationship should not come with financial support. IRS scams is tax season, so IRS scams are actually huge right now. This is a post that Rogers Police Department posted 3 days ago, saying that they were contacted saying that they were responding to your tax inquiry. There's scams saying that you owe tax money and that if you don't pay the IRS and Apple gift cards, that you will face legal consequences. And these really ramp up during tax season, right after tax season, because everybody's waiting on their tax returns and they know that they're expecting that phone call. IRS scams, like I said, the IRS will never contact you via phone, text message, and ask for money. They will never, if you have not inquired about your taxes, even if you have inquired about your taxes, never provide information, social security number, date of birth, stuff like that, over the phone in order to discuss any financial related accounts. If the IRS is trying to get a hold of you, or you get a phone call saying the IRS is trying to get a hold of you, like I said, the IRS will never call your phone to discuss personal information like that. And I'll get to this at the end or further into it, but the best course of action is to just hang up or don't click on any links in text messages or emails. Call that legitimate business. So you'll call the IRS and say, hey, I received this phone call saying that you need to discuss my information. Did you guys call me? And they'll verify. One, they'll say no, and I think in their automated system they will even say, like, we will never contact you to discuss like money or anything like that. So yeah, my number one piece of advice is to hang up, don't provide any information, call them back on a number you know is legitimate. Because they can spoof numbers and they can make it look like the IRS number or the police department number. Some other common scams, AI scams. Essentially, it's a software that pulls your voice, whether they call you and they talk to you, they can mimic that voice. Or one that came in a few weeks ago, this male's wife posted a lot of videos on her social media, and her privacy settings were not set to where it was private, so anybody could see it. And so we're thinking that probably what happened is they pulled her voice either off those videos or from like a phone conversation, and they mimicked her voice to her spouse saying like, hey, I'm in trouble, pay this money, or my kidnappers will get me. They can spoof numbers. They spoofed her phone number. So immediately, if you get a panic, I know when a family member calls and said I'm in trouble, your first reaction is to fix it, right? Whatever it takes to fix it. Stop, hang up, take a breath, call that family member from a contact in your phone and ask them if they're legitimately in trouble. And that goes with the law enforcement scams, because some people will say like, hey, your son-in-law got arrested in Florida on spring break, pay this money for their attorney. Double check with that family member or family members that have contact with them, and then react from there. Contact law enforcement and provide them with all the information you have. Sexual extortion, this is more common in kids. Teenagers, probably between the ages of 16 and 18, are the main targets of this. On the adult side, usually if individuals are texting on an online relationship, and they'll get into like a sexual conversation, and they'll send photos. And then after they've sent like nude images of themselves, they're like, hey, you're talking to a 14-year-old, I'm gonna tell the police unless you give me money. So they start to extort them for money, saying like, hey, you're actually talking to a 14-year-old, so you need to pay me money or we'll turn you into law enforcement. So that's more the adult sextortion. The teen sextortion is they'll create a fake profile of a kid their like age, and then they'll exchange nude images or videos, and then they'll extort them for money. This is a major financial scam. If you do find yourself in a scam like that, never send any money, because that will not prevent them from sending any images or videos out. And a new scam in relation to extortion is you don't even have to send them any images or videos. You don't even have to talk to them. They will fake your face on an image and then tell you like, hey, this is an image of you, and I'm gonna send it out. Just record and screenshot all the account information, everything about them. Don't interact with them, because once you alleviate yourself as a target, they'll go to the next target. But like I said, even if you do pay money, they'll just come back and ask for more money, and it's just a never-ending process. Bank scams are huge right now. You'll receive text messages saying that they detected fraudulent activity on your account or something in relation to your bank account. They'll give a link for you to verify your information, and that's actually one of those phishing links. So we'll pull up a page that looks like your bank account page, you'll log into it, and they'll capture your login information for your bank. Bank institutions will also not text you in relation to your account. And it's very, very common. I've received shipping links saying like my package is delayed, unless I verify. She said that she gets these links, she goes to her bank account in person, or she goes to the post office to verify. That's a very good plan to do, because you're actually going to that legitimate business and verifying. Do not click on any links inside the emails or text messages, and contact your bank or the post office in order to verify that information personally. Here is the Pea Ridge Police Department posted 5 days ago about scams targeting Arvis customers, and they're essentially saying like, hey, they're spoofing the Arvis phone number, asking for personal information, don't give anything out, and Arvis will never call you and ask you for your personal information in relation to your account. So that was from 5 days ago on Pea Ridge. What if you become a victim? So if you become a victim of a scam, like I said, there are so many scams out there. I can tell you all of these, and then tomorrow 5 more will develop, right? With the development of technology and what it can do and the new products out there, like there is a never-ending plethora of scams that are being developed. So if you buy some on Facebook Marketplace and then realize that you were a victim of a scam, or you accidentally click the link on the text messages and then your bank account gets hacked and they take money from it. Record all the identifying information, keep receipts and communication, so don't delete the text messages. If it's on social media, you can screenshot it. I know Facebook, they can delete messages, so make sure you capture those messages as soon as possible. Never send additional payments and to stop the scam, because like I said, it's a scam, so even if you pay what they're demanding, they're not gonna stop requesting payment. They're just gonna request additional payment. And block the accounts or numbers, but don't delete the information. Sometimes when you block accounts on different either phone numbers or websites, like it will like delete that contact. So just make sure you record everything before you block it, just in case, and report it to your local law enforcement. So I know on some of these bank card or the gift card scams, we have a very short window that if we can make contact with that card company, then we might be able to intercept those funds and get them back to the victims. If it goes too long, we won't be able to get that money back, and sadly the victim will be out that money. A lot of these scams don't return on U.S. territory, they're going to return overseas, usually to countries that don't really cooperate with the United States legal process. So stopping that before it leaves like your bank account or they get those funds off those gift cards will be your best course to get that money back to you. Phishing emails. Emails are huge. I have received emails from Facebook saying like, hey, somebody's trying to reset your account. If this is not you, click this link, right? There's, on the child exploitation side, we work on child exploitation cases, and this one is really annoying because the scam portion is not obvious up front. Essentially, you receive a link saying your account's been hacked, verify your identity. You click on the verify identity and they get to hack into your account. And then they upload child exploitation images and get you locked out. So it's very annoying. But they do that to get your information off your Facebook also. You think about Facebook Marketplace, paying through like the Facebook app, like your credit card information can be connected to it, depending on how you pay on Facebook Marketplace. So they can hack into your account that way. And if your Facebook account does get hacked, keep record of that, because if it's on the child exploitation side, having those text messages or messages to where if law enforcement contacts you, because it will get reported, just saying like, hey, this happened. Yeah, so they do make fake Facebook pages.
Right.
So anything you post on the internet, once you post it on the internet, you have no expectation to privacy. And so you can actually lock down your Facebook page quite a bit in your privacy settings. But they will make profiles that mimic your profile, and then as soon as you accept the request, they'll say, hey, I got locked out of my profile, and then they'll start scamming your friends and requesting money from your friends. So it's a fake Facebook account. It's not that yours got hacked, they just created one to mirror yours, and they'll message your friends saying that you got locked out of your account. They'll come up with an excuse that you need money, and so they'll think that they're sending you money, but they're actually sending the scammers money. So that is a Facebook scam also. How can you fix it? So I don't click on any Facebook emails because all of them look legitimate, right? So if you get locked out of your account, then you can click to reset your password and stuff on the Facebook application. Yeah, so you can reset your password and set it up that way. Creating complex passwords. It's common for people to use repeat passwords. So if they get into one account with a password, they essentially, like, just how humans operate, we commonly use the same exact password every time, so using complex passwords. Facebook has two-factor authentication now, so you can set that up, where essentially it sends you like a a code or something when you request it, in order for another layer. But adjusting your privacy settings, setting up your password and your extra factors of authentication will help them not be able to get to your Facebook. Don't click on links and emails. Because essentially, you click on that link, you enter in your username and password, and then they have it, because that's actually theirs. So don't click on emails that are too good to be true. That's another common theme. So if you get an email saying that you won this prize, all you have to do is click this link, fill out the shipping information with your name, phone number, email address, personal address, all your identifying information. Don't click on those emails. I know that it's exciting to get new free discounted stuff, but at the same time, you're always setting yourself up to be scammed or somebody to steal your identifying information. And don't, like I said, don't fill out any blanks from emails saying like that personally identifies you. Go to the account that you know is legitimate, go to their app, whether it be Facebook, your bank, anything else, and that way you're alleviating that third-party email. Contact customer support and report the email if possible. So if you receive a Facebook verification email, just report it with your email account as a spam or scam email. And then that will help at least notify the electronic service providers that you're being scammed. I go on Facebook and report scam posts for fun, so that's how I operate.
So if I got a scam from Arvis, I need to contact Arvis?
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you receive anything from your bank, before clicking on anything or taking any action, call that bank and
When you're
say,
saying reported, I was wondering who you reported to.
yeah,
If it's which entity do you report to?
yeah, you can, so if you're not out any money or anything like that, contact your bank and say, hey, I've received this email. Do you guys actually need me to verify my account, or is it a scam? And they'll say it's a scam, right? And then I think you can report it through your email, like go to that email, click it's usually like 3 little buttons and report it through your Gmail. Yeah, and text, just block the account. Yeah, just don't reply to it, delete and block the number, and you're good. Now, if you are out money, then you would report it to law enforcement.
I was out money one time,
Yeah. Did you report it to law enforcement?
yes. I went in person to the sheriff's department and I said, what do I do about that? And they said, don't do it again.
These images are brought to you by Google.com. It is actually, you can actually figure out a lot of information as far as what you're looking for. So Netflix, if you receive random messages from Netflix saying that you need to update your account information, don't click on any links. Go to the Netflix application or website and verify your account. Usually when you log in, there'll be no alert that you need to do anything. So this is a PayPal response, and it kind of gives you a few tips and tricks. Essentially, it's like those bills that you get in that say, or those advertisements that you say need you to reply urgently or an urgent response. That's like the number one telltale sign of hey, this is actually not urgent. If they make it very general, one of the next slides that I have, if they say, hey, dear customer, don't even know your name, it's just a mass sent email, that's definitely a red flag. If you hover over these links, it should give you a URL. So if it's not PayPal.com, customer support, or something like that, if it looks like a weird link, it probably is a weird link. So, but you don't even have to click on it. Just hover your mouse over it and it will pop up the URL that they're using to go to. And like I said, vaguely worded, bad grammar, and essentially they're not really giving you any information, but they want you to click on links in order to further that. Amazon, generic non-personalized greetings, hover over the email link, a non-Amazon email address. If you look at the sender, it says Amazon as part of the title, but then you go to the @ and then it gets weird from there, right? It's not Amazon, it's Manzon Canada, so stuff to look for. Amazon saying that your order's been canceled or there's issues with your shipping. I like Amazon. I do get these emails too. I have a spam account and essentially everything goes to that spam account and I click on nothing. So I just go to my Amazon application and to see if it gives me any alerts or anything. Yeah, essentially it's just like, you know how you go shopping and they want you to give you an email address or something like that, or when you order something online, you have to have an email address. I use the same email address, and like I said, I click nothing. So everything gets sent to that. I don't have to worry about it mucking up my personal email address. But I do get these about like verifying my account. Never click on it. I just go to my Amazon app and then see if there's any alerts about any orders. Here's some examples of text messages. Bank of America, Netflix, Post Office, they're sending them from everywhere. Your USPS shipment has been held until you verify your information. Don't do anything, don't click on any links, block, delete the phone number, and just move on life. If you are expecting a shipment, you can go and verify that. Contact the post office, contact FedEx, and they should be able to tell you if your package is being held or not. Internet safety, number one is check your privacy settings. I do that in all presentations for all topics. Privacy settings are a major portion about keeping yourself safe. A lot of people are set up for failure because society standards say the more likes and follows and people that see your stuff, the more popular you are. I know that you all probably don't care as much as the younger generations do, but a lot of people just don't pay attention to their privacy settings. Well, whether that's on your internet router, or your social media, or your bank your bank accounts, go through the privacy settings and see how you can best protect yourself. My privacy settings won't be 100% what you need for your privacy settings, so determine what works best for you and your family. Like I said, on social media, if you post it and it's out there, even if your account is private, if somebody adds you that you don't know, I never recommend adding people that you don't know in real life, but if you post it, it's out there, and you essentially have zero right of privacy to that information. So if you're posting when you're on vacation, where you're going to vacation, when you're out of the house, your address, you take a picture in front of your house and street number. If you know where you're from in a house address, I could probably find your house pretty easily on Google. So, yeah, but they can use that. I mean, even Benton County property records, if you can find a physical address, you can find out a lot of information on that person as far as going to their property records. You can get their mailing address, who bought the property, and if it's in a trust or not. So just be careful about what information you're posting online. Yes, sir.
Just a little story. Person in our neighborhood put out that he was going on vacation for 2 weeks. Ended up that the people robbed his house. They actually parked the van in the garage and emptied the house and took off.
Yeah. So
That's sad.
Yeah, be very careful. If you want to post your vacation photos or photos with your grandkids while you were out on vacation, post it after you get back, right? Not in real time, because you never know who's getting that information. Even people that you do know, you never know their intentions, truly. Don't reuse passwords. Don't give out too much information online. If you have grandkids with school emblems on clothes, be careful posting that online. Predators. And then make your password complex. Don't use that same password every time, and don't make it like your name and date of birth.
Should you change the password every 3, 6 months, 4 years, whatever?
If you feel most comfortable with that, then yes. That is our law enforcement emails are set up on that you have to change it, I think every 30 days or 60 or 90 days. I usually change it whenever it tells me that it's time to change it. So, but making it complex. But yeah, if you want to change it every few months to make sure. My issue with that is this is personal. I forget passwords like immediately after I change them. So if you record it, make sure it's recorded in a safe place. Keep yourself safe. And that is the whole portion of the day. I wanted you guys to have a little bit of education and knowledge about what we're seeing locally. That way, hopefully it keeps y'all from becoming victims. But you also just doing a little preventative work will also prevent that. So never provide any identifying information over the phone, name, date of birth, social security numbers, all those things should never be provided over a phone because you never know who you're talking to on the other side. If you haven't heard of it or received notice about it prior, it's probably a scam, especially when it comes to legal issues. Because I can 100% say that I will never contact anybody and ask for money for payment for their warrant. The most that I've ever done is essentially advising like, hey, you have a misdemeanor warrant out of Rogers. If you come to the police department, we can take care of it, whether if they have to go to jail or that they go to the police department and get a citation, but I never received anything of monetary value from that. And that's probably going to be the standard practice across the board for all law enforcement. If you get a phone call because your grandkids or children posted that they were going on vacation, so now the people know where they're going on vacation and when they're going to be there, and you get a call from an attorney saying, hey, your grandson got arrested in Florida, pay his attorney fees or pay his bond to get out of jail. Be wary of that. Never pay anything just upfront over without verifying. Hang up, verify, and then if it is a scam, contact law enforcement. Like I said, a lot of these scams do return overseas, and that limits to what we can do. Some crimes we can push to our federal agencies to help us. The sexual extortion is one of them, but definitely verify before you do anything. Fishy business, as far as don't click any links related to emails or text messages, exit your email, access a legitimate site, or go in person, like you said that you've done, and then verify that these are actual issues or there's no issues at all. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Just remember that. That's a sad part of society today is we really have to double, triple, and quadruple check about things that seem good. It's like we can't just enjoy good things in life because we always have to be skeptical of them. And then if you do have any issues with your electronics, so if you're on your laptop or desktop computer and you have a virus scan that pops up and says like, hey, we've detected viruses on your computer, don't click on that pop-up.
Sorry.
Exit out of it, and then there are either legitimate
So they get to somebody that works in computers?
yeah, so there are computer companies that can do it, or there's legitimate virus scanning software that you can purchase. And that you just go and you can do like virus scanning, like Norton, I think has a good one. Even if the pop-up says it's from Norton, like they can engineer these pop-ups to look very legitimate. So you do your research and
So you're saying, I have Norton, and somebody could be scanning me saying that it's Norton?
yes, they'll make up the pop-up look like it's from Microsoft or Norton, and then you click on it, and they're actually they'll even have a support person call you, and then they'll remote access your computer and install software. And how much information do you keep on your computers? I mean, bank information, personal identifying information. Some people scan in their personal documents, like kids' information. So
Documents, yes, bank information.
yeah, so like I'm saying, if you do have a laptop or desktop computer and you get that pop-up saying like, hey, we've detected viruses on your computer, don't click on it, exit out of it, and then either purchase legitimate scanning software to double check, or take it to like Geek Squad or some of these third-party computer and cell phone repair shops. they can help you out, but that is a physical person that you can see and talk to that can help you. I would highly discourage and almost say never give people remote access permission to your device. Online safety, check your privacy settings, number one, and that's across the board on everything. Use two-factor authentication or complex passwords if the two-factor isn't available. Don't reuse the same passwords, and don't click on email links that say your account has been compromised. Go to that application and see if there's any alerts or anything on the application. And don't overshare online, and don't share your passwords. Some people will give, like, don't make your Wi-Fi password that you give to all your guests your Facebook password, right? And that's why I say, like, commonly, like, people reuse passwords. You can make a guest Wi-Fi that doesn't give your guest access to your administrative account, but it does give them access to your guest account. So a lot of your Wi-Fi's you can set up to have a guest account where you can modify what they have access to, and if you give them a password, you're not giving them your password. Follow your law enforcement pages online. So if you're on Facebook, which if you don't have a Facebook, you don't want a Facebook, that's completely fine. But if you do have Facebook, almost all the local law enforcement agencies have a Facebook page that you can follow. As you saw, the Pea Ridge Police Department, the Rogers Police Department, Fayetteville Police Department, like they all post. If we have like a common scam we're seeing over and over again, like we'll post a scam alert that tells you what that scam is and how, and hopefully a way to prevent it. And we post local crime updates. So if you live on 8th Street in Rogers and you notice like those crime updates every single day, there's more breaking and enterings into Rogers on 8th Street, like, hey, you know to lock your car. Always lock your car to begin with. That's a free tip. So, follow your local law enforcement pages because we do try to keep the community informed about what's going on, and then stuff that we're seeing. That way you guys can keep up to date on that. Like I said, there's new scams coming up all the time. So definitely be cautious, but that is a very easy and good way to keep up with that and have constant communication. Contact the Rogers Police Department or your local department to ask questions. It's like, hey, I'm seeing this. If you do become a victim, like I said, statistically, scams are going to get us, right? Just because there's so many out there and they're developing so quickly, we can't keep up with them. So if you do fall victim, record all the information that you can and report it to law enforcement because, like I said, in some of these, time is of the essence. Like we can, if it's immediately, we might be able to do something about it. If it's a day or two later, then that lessens our chances to get money back. I greatly appreciate y'all coming and listening out today. And if you do have any questions, feel free to come and ask me right now, or if you have any questions, you can just call and talk, and we'll try to help.